This is, I believe, the best way to disagree with customers, employers, or spouses. So imagine you're in disagreement with someone. You want to do one thing, other person wants to do another thing. You can either do one or the other. You can't move forward. In fact, there's only one good way to disagree that keeps everybody happy. And to showcase what I mean, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Back when I was working in IT, I was working for a company that had to choose their next cloud service provider. So that could have been Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure. I, in this specific case, wanted to go with Microsoft Azure, but some of my colleagues disagreed. Instead of going into a tedious feature comparison, I decided to isolate the security feature of the platforms because I knew that security was of utmost importance to the company for which I was working. And any platform superior in security to the others would eventually be the platform, the cloud, to be selected. So now I reframed the entire discussion to be held under the umbrella of security, bypassing the discussion of what is the best cloud solution for us toward what is the most secure cloud solution for us. So obviously I could supply ample evidence for Azure's superiority in the security domain, and I had personal experience and I could provide articles and data to make that clear. And eventually we did decide to go with Azure. And it is important to understand now what I did here. I replaced the discussion of the whole thing with the discussion of just one part as a proxy for the whole thing. This is one possible application of reframing, and there's other applications for reframing. So for example, instead of isolating one part of the discussion, I could also appeal to a higher principle. So that could be a higher moral principle or an authority or a best practice or an ideology. For example, if I want to raise my prices, I don't just tell my customers to deal with it. I tell them that, look, I'm now much better than I was previously, and it would be unfair to be paid disproportionately less in relation to my skills that I now have. And I now appeal to the sense of fairness in my customers to justify my higher prices. And that works because people believe in fairness, rightfully so, and they want to be fair and appear as fair when given the chance. Now, another possible application of reframing would be, and this is complicated, that there is always a hidden intention behind any appeal. So for example, if my wife asks to go through my phone, so I can say, it sounds like you don't trust me. Have I done anything for you to mistrust me? Has anyone else previously betrayed you? And if she says no, then there's no logical foundation for her argument. And if she says yes, then, well, we're not talking about my phone anymore. Now you could also go to the side of the discussion and start discussing something else remotely related to the actual disagreement, but that would be a straw man argument and easily disproven. So to summarize, you can solve disagreements by reframing the conversation. One, by isolating one part of the discussion, raising that in importance, and using that as a proxy for the entire discussion. Two, appeal to a higher principle. We should do X not because I want us to do X, but because there is a higher principle here at play. Again, maybe an ideology or a moral principle. And we both adhere to that principle. And this is why it makes it impossible for us to do any different. And three, to go beyond the disagreement and questioning the true intent behind the disagreement, rendering the disagreement obsolete.